Hello, hello, and welcome back to AWS Tech Tales. My name is Samara Reaño,
Hi, and I'm Tanvi Morak.
and welcome you all back
Yeah.
this week. I hope everybody had a good weekend. How was your weekend, Tambi?
It was pretty good. We had like this wind chill in New York, but we had like a day where it was a bit warmer, so we stepped out. It felt like it was spring, not really,
Uh
but
huh.
just being out in the sun, it was fun. But then now it's been like so cold. I think yesterday was the coldest. It was feels like minus 25 degrees Celsius, obviously,
Wow.
not Fahrenheit, but it's been cold. How about you?
Actually, the weather over here in California has been pretty nice. We actually had a very sunny weekend. Definitely nice weather for us to get back out there,
Hmm.
walk around, go on runs, that sort of thing. I really enjoyed it. I opened all the windows in my house and it felt amazing inside here. So I'm kind of happy to hear that it was kind of, you guys got a ray of sunshine as well in New York.
Yeah,
So.
I'm so jealous. But please drop in and say hi. We have a global team here. Would love to hear where folks are joining in from. And please say hi, share where you're coming in from.
Yeah, hi Erie. Thank you for joining today. And we have a pretty cool content for today. It will be Tambi and I going over Amazon Quick Suite. I'm very curious, Tambi, if our audience has had any experience kind of playing around with Quick Suite yet. Just drop
Let's
in
see
your
what
comments
folks have to
there.
say.
Yeah, see if you have kind of explored it, if you're already using it in your day to day. Erie says, watching from LA. Okay, cool. You're in my same time zone, California. It was beautiful this past weekend in SoCal. So was in the Bay Area. I can report that. So
Mm.
then I guess it was across, California. I'm not sure how it was in the northern side, but definitely beautiful weather. I agree with you 100%, Erie.
Making us East Coasters feel jealous about your beautiful weather in California.
Yes. Okay. So diving in into today's episode, we're calling it the tale of AI powered analysis.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, we are going to be learning how QuickSuite can accelerate and automate your day-to-day task. Tambi and I will be playing along to assume the role of sales and marketing, and we're gonna try to perform different type of um, things such as research, analyze data, and generate content for our role that we are assuming today. So definitely, if you have any questions along the way, if you still haven't used Quick Suite, um, you're welcome to ask those questions, drop them in the chat, and then Tambi and I will be gladly bringing those questions forward.
Before we get right into it, Samara, I did want to ask you, what's your experience been like with Kick Suite? I
I
almost call it Kick Site. It's so confusing.
I know. I've actually heard some people just calling it quick.
Yeah.
Just because it's that, right? You go to say quick site because for years you've been using, just quick site. And now we call it quick suite.
Mm-hmm.
There is different areas now. It's not only quick site. But my personal experience is that I really like it. I'm already actually using it to kind of increase the way that I productive throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely look at it as an assistant on my day to day task.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that you can integrate it to different things and actually only point it to certain set of data that you want to look at. So we're going to learn more about that today. Don't want to give it all away. But I think that it's a great way for us to kind of automate a lot of the day to day task. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. Even I have added it into my browser, so I use it day to day whenever I'm like researching something or trying to get on, like as technical account managers, a lot of the work we do is customer facing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things, I recently got added to a new account, so I was able to go into Quick Suite and use that to, set up a space, do some more research. I won't give away a lot of how I use
Mm-hmm.
the tool. We'll be looking at that, but I think that it was a really good use case for me to start using it and be able to, develop an onboarding plan just for myself and
Mm-hmm.
then automate some of those tasks, so the next time when I'm joining another account, I'll already have like a flow ready to execute and have a plan on how I can go ahead and get onboarded much faster.
That is a great use case. That's great to hear. Actually, and for those of you that is the first time that you're hearing about QuickSuite, or maybe you want to learn more about it, you can definitely check in, and we will be sharing a link that takes you to the main page of QuickSuite, and it just kind of gives you a walkthrough of everything that it's capable of doing in the different areas that you can automate the different tasks throughout the day. Let me start sharing my screen so we can kind of kick it off. Let me. All right. So I have my screen pulled up. Thank you. So I am already in the AWS console.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are in the AWS console, just like similar to any of the other services, you just want to type in QuickSuite, and it should come up. So I'm just going to go into it. All right, so then you come up to the landing page, and it looks very familiar, similar to what you will see whenever you wanted to come in into QuickSight. So you're essentially coming into the same UI, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's transformed into different areas, different things that you can do. As you can see, there is different sections, being the chat agent, there is the spaces, there is flows, there is research, as well as automations. So today we're going to take a brief deep dive into the different areas and how you can actually use those. So don't get overwhelmed from all the new stuff that you're seeing right now in QuickSight. Definitely gonna go over all of that today. I'll go ahead and start off by, okay. So we're going to first do a quick flow. We're pretty much going to generate social media content, a post to automate, and pretty much reuse this flow as we go along. Let's say that today is the first time that we're using it. We definitely want to make sure that it's something that we are, not spending so much time setting up going forward, but it's something that we can come back to and reuse as time goes on. And this is kind of like how we're talking about, like, automating those day-to-day tasks or weekly tasks or monthly tasks, however you want to schedule those.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first, we are going to look at the assistant, which is right here, my assistant. And I kind of want to give you a quick walkthrough of what that looks like. So as you can see, my assistant here, it says let's chat. Here is where you would ask your question. You can look at all the data
So,
and applications that you're.
sorry to interrupt you, Zamara. We have a great question here in the chat. What is the difference between flow and spaces? And I see you're going through the different areas, so maybe that can be one of the things that you can touch upon as you're explaining all the different aspects of it.
Yeah. So the flows is pretty much just creating, let's say, a kind of like an automation of steps of the different tasks that you do on a daily data basis. And this is just interacting with a chat, right? This is pretty much letting it know what you wanted to do in order to create that flow. That's why it's called flow. I actually really like that they came up with that name because it fits perfectly into the use case that you're looking to have. And then to spaces is pretty much to organize all of the data, all the content, or the way that you work with different teams. For example, like Tambi's point, our role in AWS is TAMs. So let's say that we only want to work within a certain amount of group of people, and you only want to share that information and that data with that set of people. But then we also have other groups and other team members that we also work on a day-to-day basis. So you can actually split those into different spaces. So it's just a matter of what you need and how you're using it. I hope that answered your question.
It's Samara, so it's kind of like building a knowledge base, right? It can be a
Exactly.
private or a shared
Mm-hmm.
knowledge base. So I can just upload all of the documents or resources for a
Mm-hmm.
specific customer, and then I can actually chat with it, use that space to then interact and connect it with a flow. And like you mentioned, a flow is a more a
Mm-hmm.
repetitive task, like an
Mm-hmm.
automation of a repetitive task. And we'll be seeing that as we progress in the workshop.
Exactly. And I think we lost my
Our screen.
screen. Uh, Not sure what happened there. We can bring it back up.
Mhm.
Okay, you should be able to see it. Okay, there you go. We're
Yep, I
back.
see it now.
Okay, so as you can see here, this is the chat assistant. And then this is all kind of bring it together for you guys watching it. So we're talking about like the different areas and the knowledges that you want to build, right? So we have a drop down. If I ask a question, am I asking a question on all the data and applications that I have integrated into my specific um, space? Or do I want to do general knowledge, or do I want to do a specific data and apps? And you can continue adding as it goes. Let's say I just want to ask a question on general knowledge. That's one area. Now we see kind of like this little web search icon here as well. And this is going to allow for you to interact and then actually get information from web search. So as it says right here, includes answers from the internet, best for getting latest information. But let's say that you don't want to have any web searches in your output. So I want to turn it off. So it's no longer bolded. That means that you are not going to be leveraging web search for this specific area. Attach files. Actually, let's say that you just want like you got a project and it's like 2 or 3 pages work document and you want to ask it questions and kind of maximize your productivity of going through this file and getting some things out of it, some outputs. You can actually upload that file here to the assistant itself and ask it questions just based on that specific file. So it's a way to like even isolate the type of content and output that you're going to get out in this one specific interaction. And then here it's flows. This is exactly what we're also been talking about, just automating this. Let's say if you do this on a regular basis, you come into a report every single day at your job and you're going to ask it the same questions. You can pretty much create a flow to make it repeatedly on a day-to-day basis or whatever you want it to be scheduled to. Okay, so with that being said, and I hope that that was useful for everyone, let's start off. Let's say that I want to just ask it a question based on, let's say right here, I wanted to just look at one document like I share. So let me do this. Let me grab my document and add it here. So as I said, here is my document. And now I want to give it a set of, I want to ask it a question to kind of set the direction. So I'll paste it here. And this is pretty much what I'm asking it to do. You are a professional marketer, generate social media posts for Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, BDM, follow below instructions. So you want to be as detailed as you can with the instructions that you're giving it. You want a Facebook post that should be normal and professional, include much detail as possible, precise, in a precise way. The same thing for Instagram, WhatsApp, and then you want to include both English and traditional Chinese and a spoken Cantonese version of all 3 media types. So imagine doing all of this in just one, like I guess one direction, like just giving it that instruction and then that's it. So I'll go ahead and put next. And now
While it's working on it, Zamara, I see we have a question around if we can integrate with MCP, the Model Context Protocol. And I do want to just answer that we do have integrations built in here. So once we've done through this scenario, we can just click through and show the folks that what are the different types of integrations and connections you can make. So, but the short answer is yes, that capability exists with
awesome.
QuickSuite.
Thank you so much, Dambi, for taking that one. So as you can see, this is it, going through it, just kind of going through the flows. You can actually see it in action and what it's doing. So you have complete visibility to exactly the different areas that it's working. So, and as you can see, it's already starting to create those outputs. And then he asks us you questions like, would you like me to adjust the tone, add specific promotional offers, or create variations for different target audiences? So don't think that you just kind of just put it out there and that's it. I think that we have talked about this with all these assistant tools that we have. It is not just, oh, you just give it one set of instruction and you can no longer go back and then you have to start over again to kind of continue building upon. it's like you're actually talking to somebody. Like, just
Yeah.
you can adjust it as you go. Don't think that it's just closed off to just the initial instructions that you provided.
Oops, I think we lost
Oh,
your screen share again.
yes, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, should be able to see it
Yeah.
again.
But I
No.
really liked how it created all these sections. I think one for Facebook, WhatsApp, and then Instagram, based on the style of conversation or the style of wording that you asked
Mm-hmm.
it to do. So
Yes.
it was able to look at the one file that we uploaded and then build the content based on the context or the style, the conversational style that we wanted to portray.
Yes, and I don't know why it's not coming up again, but you guys are not able to see it, correct?
Not yet.
Mm, yeah, I'm not sure what is going on, but I am sharing my screen. It is technical difficulties, apologies. All right. Okay. Actually, I'm not sure what is going on, but if Tambi, if you're able to
Mm-hmm.
bring up yours and then we can continue because I'm not sure why it's not.
Sure, of course. So, oh, this is just to show it to folks, and we will be sharing the link later on. This is the workshop that we have been working through today, and we're going to share the link with you so you can also try it and test all the different scenarios on your end. But these are the sort of things that we want to get through today. And I think, Samara, we started with the content generation. So let's get into it.
Yep.
I think
So, yeah.
maybe let's go to module one. Let me
Yes, we
download this.
are. Yeah. We are in the first exercise.
Okay,
I'm still working on putting mine up in case it
no
does work.
worries. So did you say we wanted to use the web search or not for this one?
No, so just, yeah, take away the web search, switch it back to general knowledge base,
Okay, sorry.
and then just upload the one file that we just want to look at.
Okay, and then let me, so I don't have to type all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to grab this. Obviously, we can type and specify what you wanted to do, but as you can see here, the Facebook post, we wanted to be more formal and professional. Then Instagram, we wanted to be more casual. And for WhatsApp, I think there's a word limit that we want to stick to. So I'm going to
Right.
give it just the one file and then see it build all of that for the different
Yep.
platforms. And while that's happening, let me just go in and show the integrations that we were talking about. So these are some of the ones that are already available. And then you can also, here it doesn't show any knowledge base because I haven't added any, but you can also go into spaces. And as we spoke about, you can create your own space. You can connect it with some of your own documents, knowledge bases, internal sites that you use. So then
Yep.
that will be available for use.
We have a question here. Can it schedule in or post to the social media? So I we are not directly posting it to the social media. We're just creating the content that we want to post into the social media. So instead of us doing the cycles of creating exactly a specific content for the different platforms, we're just creating a workflow or content that we can use, but it will not actually post it to your site if that is your question, Erie.
But while it won't post, if there's other activities that we need to do on the back end in terms of
Mm-hmm.
the flow, we can certainly use this and build a flow and then just execute it when we do want to post it. Like
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
for this particular scenario, I think we had got into this point, Samara, with building
Yes.
the information. And then I think the next step we wanted to do is automate this process.
Exactly. So now that we have pretty much had this output, what you can do, Tambi, is copy the artifact. And apologies to our viewers. I'm really not sure why it is not wanting me to share my screen. So I'll help with the walkthrough. I've been trying to work on it in the back end, but just we'll continue on with the presentation. Okay, so you want to go ahead and then just copy the artifact to the clipboard, or you can also
Mm-hmm.
download it. It is up to you, however you want to store that. Or actually, you can now move on to actually converting this conversation into a reusable quick flow,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we have been talking about, right? You don't want to have
Yep.
to come and do this every day if this is part of your job in the marketing team. You want to be able to just kind of come back and then just
Mm-hmm.
have this done in a way.
And I
So
do
what
also, sorry to interrupt, I do also want to show the sources. So for this particular task, we did take away the internet access. So it has only
Mhm.
been using the repository that we shared. So if you click on source here, it's going to show the document that we uploaded for it to use. But if we had given it access to other knowledge bases, to internet, then we would have seen all of the sources that it used to pull the information. And we will see that in use for some of our next tasks. But just wanted to quickly show that here.
Yes, I think that that's a great
So,
thing to point out as well, Tambi, because we did kind of touch about it at the beginning of the show. You can always revise exactly where it is getting the information from.
mm-hmm.
You always want to know where is the knowledge base coming from, whether you're using or not the web, or you're only soliciting the feedback and content to be put out of that specific document, like we do in this scenario.
Perfect. So I basically asked it to create a flow based on the conversation we had, and it has now given a summary of what the flow will be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can click generate.
Yep.
I think this is really cool because there's two ways to create a flow. Either you can start from scratch, go into the flow tab, and then tell it what to do, or you can have a conversation with it, with the agent, and then ask it to build a flow where it'll look at the conversation and pick up from context and then
Mm-hmm.
give you suggestions on how the flow should be set up. So if you want to prompt it directly, that's one way to go. But if you also want to chat with it and then get a flow, then that's another way to build it.
Yep. That's good.
Perfect. So this is what I think once we're in it and once we have a flow, it looks like. Are there any particular things, Zamara, that you want me to show, talk about?
Yes. So I would say let's create the flow.
Mm-hmm.
What we can do is actually doing with the same showcase that we did before. Just click on the I think it's called the run. I can't see the star.
So right now I think
The
we're in
run
edit
mode.
mode and we can go into run mode.
Yeah, run mode.
Perfect.
And then what you can do here, Tambi, is drag that exact same work document that we used for the first exercise. If
Mm-hmm.
you can drag that as well here, and then what you would do is uh, once you have that file output, then you can run it.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you can just put start. Yep.
So I'm going to hit start. And it's going to go through the motions and we can track the progress where it is at, what step it's working on, right here in the left tab. I think that is really cool, just so you know where you are at and
Mm-hmm.
how long it's going to take to get the output.
Absolutely. And then what you can also do is when you're checking, right, all of that being running in motion, you can actually see it on the right side as well. It's more
Mm-hmm.
of like the high level, but you still have the possibility to continue interacting with the assistant itself and actually interacting that in natural language to kind of update your instructions, or if you run into any technical trouble, it actually gives you ways that you can overcome those
Mm-hmm.
in different ways so that you can actually get that output to where you want it to be.
This is really cool.
And then also on the left pane, if you see, right, then you have like the list of things that it has to generate, kind of like the task. And then whenever you see the check mark, it's things that have already been done. So kind of
Mm-hmm.
just like that checklist, it kind of looks like a grocery checklist when you go to the grocery store and you're like, okay, grab that, steal these to go.
Mm-hmm. So I see Erie is asking a question here, which is a very relevant question. I
Mm-hmm.
think that whenever you're working with a agentic AI, this question comes up is
Yes.
if you were to search the internet, how do you confirm the accuracy of the material? Is there a way to verify and check the info?
Yes,
Uh,
I will say through the sources, right? You always get like whatever output that you get, you're going to have the sources. We're going to go into this area in more detail as well in the next exercise as well, Erie. But a way that you can also control which exact content from the web you can look into is that you can specify the URL that you wanted to look at. So if you already have a page that you just want to dedicate the research to and you don't want to use anything else, then you do that preferred URL link to only look at that specific page. I hope that answers your question.
Another thing that has helped me, Samara, is when we were chatting with it earlier, we used the My Assistant, but you can also build a specific chat agent
Mm-hmm.
and then ask it to look at specific resources. You can also tell it to always share the links that it's pulling information from. I know it already shows the sources, but you can ask it to double check.
Yep.
So you're basically building an agent that is checking on the agent, and you keep telling it, don't do any guesswork. If you don't know the answer, then just don't guess the
Mm-hmm.
information.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some amount of room of how you can prompt and get the information to make sure that it is giving you accurate material. But there's a level of human interaction that is needed. So if you are using it for production data or like something that is very critical, then it makes sense to always double check
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that you are looking at the sources and where it's pulling the information from.
Yeah. And I mean, we have touched upon this point as well as like you always wanted to, you want to look at it as an assistant, right? You don't want to um, just say, okay, whatever the output is, that is. You always want to revise. You always want to have that human check to make sure that you're getting and that you're publishing things that you're actually getting accurately from the places that you want to actually get that information from.
So looks like we're done with the flow. I like
Mhm.
that we can go ahead and download it directly
Yes.
or can also copy it. I
Mm-hmm.
do prefer to download it because then I have it on my local
Yes.
device and I
Mm-hmm.
can look at it later on as well. And so currently this is in a private mode where only I can use it, but there is a way that we can share and publish it. So if Zamara and I are working on the same customer and I have built a workflow or like a flow, sorry, that I want Zamara to be able to use as well. So you can easily publish it and then either create a shareable link, or I can go in and add Zamara's email ID and it'll be shared and it'll show up when she
And
goes into her flows.
And then one thing that I also want to kind of point that out, Tambi, that if you click down on that drop down for the viewer,
Mm-hmm.
you can literally see and separate kind of the permission. So like let's say Tambi is the owner of this workflow, right? And she only intends for me to just view it, not update it, not, kind of mess with it. I'm just a viewer. But if I need to work with her, collaborate on updating it and integrating different aspects, then that can be a co-owner. I know that you kind of always want to revise the level of permissions that you give other team
Mm-hmm.
members, and that it's literally depending on what you wanted to give them.
Exactly. So I am not going to publish it for now. So this will continue to stay in draft mode, but we did just see how it is possible to share it and publish it. And it does make it easier because different teams are working
Mm-hmm.
together and having these flows in place, like it automates some of the repetitive tasks that we generally would have to do on an account or day to day, depending on your role. Like for now, we're looking at it from a marketing and sales
Mm-hmm.
lens, but there's always things that you can automate and go back to and just tweak the flow to make sure that it is adapting to your use case.
Exactly. 100% could it be better said.
So now let's go back and maybe look at the module 2. This
Okay.
is quick chat. So we did just chat with it. Now we're just going to look at some other ways of like how you can ask it questions, get information from it. So here we're going to be using my assistant, and let's go back into it. So chat agent. So like we were talking about, this is where you will see, for now we're using the default My Assistant, but it is also possible to create a new chat agent. We won't be doing it for this particular module, but in this way you can build a persona based on how you wanted to share information.
Mhm.
And then you can ask it to only use a specific knowledge base, or to respond in a particular style, or just like sources that it is looking at. So you're building a persona of the chatbot. But for
Yep.
now, we're going to use the default, and we're going to let it use web search. So let's look at what question they want us to ask. So if we just go right into it, and we can ask the first question.
Yep.
So let me just copy this and put it right here. And oops, looks like it has one file, but I don't want it to use it. So I'm going to remove it. Oh, I maybe should have started a new session. Sorry about that. It's going to be like, oh, weren't we just talking about coffee and now we're getting into beauty? Let's see if it can switch context.
Okay. It's it's also a great way to see the capability, right?
Yeah.
In action. All right.
Okay.
So you got
Looks
some
like,
trends.
yeah. And looks like it was able to switch context and realize that we're not talking about coffee anymore. And
Oh,
got
hi,
that.
Robert Tables. Thank you. You're all having too much fun. I would say yes. It's always a fun time here at AWS Tech Tales, especially when things go wrong, like not being able to share my screen today.
We love troubleshooting on the go.
Yes.
So, okay, it was able to get the information, and it's asking me like, how would you like to create a multi-channel marketing campaign? So it can read like what we've been asking it and give
Hmm.
more details on how it would like to interact more. So let's just go in and ask the second question and see what it has to tell us.
All right. So, how can we? I guess the second scenario or question would be how can we attract potential customers to do booking? All right. So, let's see what it tells us. And while we see that kind of come through, I've been
Mm-hmm.
studying, Robert says, I've been studying for my AI practitioner today between meetings. I'm in love with Kiro lately. Oh, awesome. Are you using the CLI, Robert? I know that we, used it in last week's episode. So just kind of wondering what are you doing? Borghetti, hi, thank you for joining us today. And then Erie has a question. Do you have any prompting tips? Recently, I heard of reverse prompting, which sounds interesting. So and I think that this is kind of like my personal experience is that I wanted to give it details, but not too much. I wanted to be able to kind of process my requests and then kind of build what I actually expect the output to be. Sometimes we'll start off at a high level when interacting with my assistant, and then you can kind of uh, work on oh, okay, well, it give you this and this is very descriptive. I kind of want it to be more high level, or not. So I feel like when you're having that interaction and then just finding that balance, because you definitely want to be able to either grow from the starting point or kind of reverse from where you started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you have to spend too much time kind of making paragraphs of instructions,
Yeah.
right from the get-go. I don't know about you, Tambi.
I do really like reverse prompting, especially like as TAMs. A lot of our work is building documents and plans for customers. So when we're having to switch customers, it helps to have a template. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have so many knowledge bases. So I love to give it a template and say, this is how I want the information to look like. And then just connect it with a knowledge base and have it work backwards from it. So instead of going and building the template, I like to start with the template and then have it adapt to it.
Yep.
So I definitely love working backwards from the output that is necessary. So
Awesome.
that technique is helpful. So it was able to give us a lot of information around how to do bookings and
Okay, so
just
let's see
talk.
what the output was.
Yeah. So it's talking about like different ways that you can make booking frictionless, how to build trust with customers, and just strategic initiatives. So like incentives. So this is a really good agent to have a conversation with. Maybe
Hmm.
what we're working on right now. In the previous example wasn't really generative AI. It was giving it information and having it reword some of it and work with us as a agent.
Hmm.
But I feel like that also is important in the kind of work that we do because there's so much information, and being able to pull on the right threads and bring it together and make sense of like a complex data set is what I really enjoy using Quick Suite for.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. Actually, we have some comments about Kiro. He says, Kiro is spec-driven development is a game changer for me. Oh, that's awesome, Robert. I'm glad that you're using that. Erie says, Kiro is neat. I have created an app. I don't know how to use this app, but that's a different problem. I'm sure you'll get there. I'm glad that you were able to actually get that app started. And then Borghetti says, hi, Samara. Hi, Tambi. Hi.
Hello,
Thank you for joining.
thank you. So, Zamara, do you want to go into module 3 now that we've had a chance to look at Quick Flow and also you use the Quick Chat? Do we want to just take a look at Quick Research? Because that
Yeah,
is another really interesting space, and I want to make sure everyone gets a chance
I
to
I
look at it.
agree. I agree. So let's move on to that. I still have been not able to share my screen for some reason, although I keep trying to. I'm assuming that it wants me to leave and come back, but I will not leave
Yeah.
midstream. So if you are able to pull that up, and then I can walk you through how to
Sure,
let's
of
get that
course.
started.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, and so before you actually do anything, just go into the research
Mm-hmm.
portion, and then just kind of, this is what you will come to. Like we said, you will find all the different areas of how you can use Quick Suite on the left pane. All you do is just navigate to the research tab, and as you can see here, it gives you kind of like that executive summary of what research is, and it's pretty much to analyze finding across sales, marketing, finance, strategy, etc. Any other business domain to generate a comprehensive research report. So this is how I take it. Like it's like, back in the school days where you have one topic and a bunch of sources to go through, and you have to put together this research paper or outline of what exactly you want to focus on. This is exactly what research is for, which I find it to be like extremely helpful. I think all of us would.
Yeah. And I agree because, like, if you have to do research, you can build a chat agent and chat with it if you want to keep it more conversational. But sometimes you want to be able to take a complex topic and break it down into very specific
Hmm.
areas to
Hmm.
analyze the information, and you want help in coming up with inferences based on the information. And I feel like that's where the research
Hmm.
aspect of Quick Suite is helpful, where it is a deeper dive into a specific topic, and it's not just asking an agent to say, hey, give me all the information on this topic.
Exactly. It's very data focus driven. I mean, you can be working out of just one a specific, let's say, work doc, but then there is different areas into that specific work doc. Let's say that this is maybe a monthly reporting from across teams. If we talk about infrastructure, we talk about finance, different areas of what different teams care about in their day-to-day role. So you can definitely interact with the different teams in a more, I guess, like a straightforward way, focusing only in the areas that you want to discuss with each team about rather than the whole entire set of knowledge. So I think it's a great way to kind of define that task.
Exactly. So I did go ahead and click start on the research task.
Yes.
And since we are going through the workshop, I just am a bit lazy and I just copied what we wanted to do, but I'll paste it here and we can read through.
Yeah, I
But
was
this
going to
is,
say, let's read it through. So then,
yeah.
like that, we're kind of like know what we're trying to look for.
Mhm. So here we're asking it, the research examines the shopping behaviors and attitudes of Gen Z and Gen Alpha consumers in the specialty coffee market. So we're back to talking about coffee and to develop highly effective customer engagement strategies. that will drive increased conversion rates, maximize sales revenue, and enhance the product offerings by aligning with their value driven purchasing patterns, sustainability expectations, and digital first preferences. Ultimately, it's going to create an authentic brand experience that will build long term loyalty and competitive advantage in the coffee bean retail industry.
Perfect. And this is the area, Erie, where we kind of went high level about. You talked about your question about how do I know which webs, like where is it coming from, which is enable the web search. So in here, you see how you have those controls. It's very meticulous to exactly what it could get very meticulous to exactly what you want it to do. So for example, in here, Tambi, we do
Mm-hmm.
want to actually have web search. If you didn't want to, then you can just toggle that over and it
Mm-hmm.
would just turn it off. You would not be using any web search. But for this specific use case, you're going to grab Tambi, that is specific URL
Oops.
that is within that workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
So we're just gonna
Yeah,
go
right
here.
there. And you're going to drop that into that preferred website. And this is where I also kind of touch upon, Erie, websites to avoid. If you definitely know that you do not want to use for sure A, B, or C website, this is where you will put that to make sure that it's not gathering any data from those websites that you do not want to gather data from whenever you're giving it that web search access.
I really like the websites to avoid because when you're doing a deep dive research, like the sources are so important, and being able to tell where to go and where not to go helps
Mm-hmm.
like guide the research agent into that space.
Yep. And so after you do that, if we just go
Mm-hmm.
back to the options that you have there, you can also do here the file upload. Let's say
Okay.
similar to what we do today, we are not,
Mm-hmm.
but we're just kind of giving it a through of what else you could do. We are not going to update anything else. We're just gave it that preferred website, and then you can just do start researching at
Yeah.
the bottom of the page. So everything else will stay default.
I think there's a question here of can you add more than one preferred website? I think we should be able to do that, right? If we put a comma and add it. I haven't
Let
tried
me
that, Samara.
see. Let me see. It says specify which websites or types of websites. Okay, I would assume you could. If we
Mm-hmm.
just do like the, because it does say websites. So if you
Yeah,
just probably just comma separate them, it should be able to do them.
I would imagine that too.
Hmm.
Okay, so are we ready to review the plan
Yeah.
and then
You
start?
can. Yes, you can do review plan and then
Mm-hmm.
let's see what the output showcases.
I do want to mention that the research agent is a more in depth analysis, so it can take close to 20 to 30 minutes to get that output. We will trigger the process and then maybe jump right into it. Zamara, I know that you had already started a research project before we came into it, although I don't know if we can see your
I won't be
screen.
able to showcase it, but I can definitely actually maybe send it to you, Tambi,
Mhm.
and then hopefully you're able to actually open it up. Actually, no, that would disrupt it because it will going through another. It will be another quick suite. So just due to the permissions issue, maybe that will not be able for you to open it up. Um, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Robert is saying that 30 minutes to go get lunch.
Yeah,
Well,
and then come back.
the So I like that there's also a chat window here that while it's doing research, you can continuously interact with it, tell it, these are the topics it's going to explore. Do you want to add anything, specify, go maybe further into a specific topic? So you can continue to interact with the research agent.
Yeah, and then you're seeing the development of it. I mean, if you think about it with the settings that we put in place, we only put one preferred web page. We didn't put anything to restrict. So in reality, it's looking at a lot of different areas to grab the information that is asking for this research. So that kind of also gives that time of like 30 minutes to an hour to actually go through it. I would assume that if you're just going by one specific document, then that's a smaller set of data to actually research from.
Hmm. So I don't think we wanted to change anything unless
No.
you want. Okay, cool. So then I
But
think.
but that's also something cool to bring forward. Actually, if you actually wanted to go ahead and change some things, you can
Yeah.
actually revise the plan, and thus you can have it right there. What can I do to make it better?
Maybe let's have it focus on a geographic scope, right? Like
Yep.
it's asking us what it can do. So I would like you to focus on North America market.
And then just click on revise the plan, and then it will start revising. Then we gotta wait 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so topics to explore, and then it starts going through the motions.
Okay, and I think here we can see the revision history. So if you're going back and forth with the chatbot and you can keep track of what are some of the requests that you made. I think at this point we're ready to start researching. So we're just going to hit this off.
Mm-hmm.
This will take some time, but I think we can continue to see the progress it makes as it continues to look through it.
Yeah, I would have loved to showcase the end result, but unfortunately, I'm still trying to see if I can pull that up.
Yeah. While you do that, maybe we can have this running on the background and get into the next one.
Yep.
And for those that joined maybe a few minutes into it, we will be sharing the link to this workshop so you can try it on your own account. But for now, we just got done with module 3. We have started the research project, and now we're going into module 4.
That is correct. And if you're joining us, we are going through Amazon Quick Suite. I guess like the UI, if you're just coming into it, you're like, oh, that looks like Amazon QuickSight. It is expanded. It is now called Amazon Quick Suite. So it has a lot of more capabilities within that UI space. But definitely excited to hear back in the coming weeks. Similar to Kiro, I see a lot of people in the comments are already trying it. So just I will be checking back with all of you in the coming weeks to see if you are all venture into Quick Suite and kind of play around with its capabilities as well.
Yeah, and QuickSight still lives within it. So let's just maybe go back into it, and you'll see here, Zamara, there's a section for QuickSight. So that very much still is part of Quick
Mm-hmm.
Suite. We've just
Mm-hmm.
added more capabilities and made it like a, I think some people also call it just Quick, because now it's a suite with
Yes.
different products and different
Mm-hmm.
agents that you can interact with.
Definitely. It is not something that you can like I feel that when I first started kind of deep diving into it, I came in and I kind of wanted to like go through everything that it offered in one day. Definitely not. If you want to truly get comfortable with the concepts and how to actually build different flows and different areas to add to your day-to-day productivity, you definitely need yourself to immerse in time. And then obviously it also depends on the type of effort that you're trying to put into the different agents that you want to build. You definitely want to build an environment that you can come back to and continue your conversations from.
Awesome. So let's get into module 4. So here we're building a quick flow, but we're going to, so the last time we built a flow, I think we were chatting with it, we were going through the agent route, and this time we're just going to directly jump into the flow and give it context on what we wanted to do, and maybe play around a little bit more on the steps within the flow.
Okay.
So let's go here, and we're going to click create flow. I'm going to be lazy and copy the context from here. So we're creating a blank flow, and okay. So on the top, click the example flow and replace it with competitor pricing flow. For this one, we wanted to do research on the competitor market and help build like a competitor pricing for our product. So let's see. Did I miss the example flow? More samples. Create a blank flow. I'm gonna need your help, Zamara.
Okay. All right. I was just looking at the research stuff, but okay, let me look. Which one do you want to do?
So we are looking at the competitor flow,
Okay.
and I am doing a create flow. Oh, maybe I didn't go through this part of it. Let me go
Yeah,
back.
so you go back to the flows area and then you create a brand new one. Are you
More
there?
stuff. Yeah,
Okay, and then you have to do the create blank flow.
create blank
Uh
flow.
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
And
perfect.
yeah, and then it says you click on the example flow
And I think we can give
and
it a
then
new name.
you can give it the name competitor pricing flow. Yep.
And let's see what it is doing here. So it is going to be summarizing competitor
Yeah.
pricing.
You wanted to give it that
Forward
description,
enough.
and then you're gonna click on the first box and then delete it by clicking the delete button on the left
So
side.
here I think it's asking us for a text input, but we wanted to build it based on the document that we were the coffee scenario that we've been working on. So I think we can upload it instead of add the input. So let me go ahead and delete this text input. And oops, I'm going to delete this one too. And let me add a new step here. So these are all the different steps that you can add when you're creating your flow from scratch. As you know, for the first time when we did it, we were chatting with it and then it just created a flow for
Mm-hmm.
us. But here we're just starting from scratch. We did use an example, but it wasn't what we wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it to use a file. Let me
Okay.
also get rid of this enter because I don't want to type my input. I want to upload the file.
And then while you do that, we have a comment from Robert. It says Kira and QuickSuite will level you up so far that you need to start thinking about dressing for C-suite demos. I agree 100%. It definitely facilitates those conversations. If that is your target to get into those C-level conversations, I absolutely see it, Robert.
Okay. So now I did upload the file and
Okay.
I'm going to go in and add the next step and select general knowledge. Let's do that.
Yep.
So right here in AI responses, we were previously talking to the chat agent. We've done research. We've looked at web search. So now we're going into general knowledge. So it's going to directly use the base AI model to
hmm
generate information and guide us. We're going to use the general knowledge that the agent already has.
And then you wanted to use the fast responses.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely do that one. And then I think that should
Let's
be.
see what we want.
Oh,
So,
did you create the prompt? Did
not
you?
yet.
Okay.
We're going to ask it to get the product name
Okay.
and also under output preferences, we're selecting fast responses and yep, extract product name from product catalog file. Okay. Do we need to copy this? Let's see.
You have the what is it called? Um,
Let's see.
the exact product name from,
Here.
and then the file that you. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then that should be it. You should be able to hit save after that.
Oops.
Oh, what is it saying? Please fix the following. Oh.
I think it should have.
Oh, did you actually specify the file? The
I
product
did
file?
upload it here, right? So I saved it.
Okay.
Maybe did I miss a step? Let's go here. File upload.
That should be good. I'm double checking from my side as well.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't show the product catalog file.
Yeah, it's not uploading the product catalog. So in the file upload, it says default, but it's not showing blue on the right side. You see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the top where it says file upload, default file, to the right
Yeah.
side, right
Um,
underneath file upload. Can you click and see if that actually?
this one?
Oh yeah, it is. I'm not
Yeah.
sure why.
Let me try to delete this step and add it again.
Yep.
So, I'm going to add a new step. Let's do general knowledge. And
Yeah, let's try this step one more time. If not, we're going to have to save it for another episode since we have 5 minutes left. But yeah, so it's
mhm.
extract product name from, and then you attach the file there.
Product name from
And then file upload, which we already have it. Toggle fast responses.
fast
And then you already
responses.
have general knowledge. It should be
Huh.
generate text. Uh-huh.
So I think
Okay.
I may have missed a step. I don't know what. We probably have to. Let's do the file upload again.
So yeah, delete the file upload. Yeah, let's delete it and then just make sure that we're doing it over. So just click, yeah,
Let's get rid of all of it.
right. Go back to the basics.
Yep.
Okay. So we go to flows and we create a flow. You doing it
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning of the flows? Okay. And then
Yes.
in the file,
I'm going
you're
to select
going
the product
right.
and let's save it.
Yep.
I see it's updating. Flow updated. Okay.
Okay.
I think now it's going to work.
Okay.
Maybe it. Let's try it again. Robert is saying you didn't honestly think you're going to do a whole workshop smoothly. Like,
that is the component, right? That's what we're doing here.
let's try this. Get product name
Name
from. Fingers crossed.
and
I
then
don't know.
toggle fast responses. I'm not sure why it's just saying file upload. I don't think it's actually attaching.
Yeah,
Because we should be able to actually see the name of the file that was. It should say the
exactly.
product file in there. I'm not sure why it's not attaching.
I wish we had more time to dig into this and troubleshoot it
Yes,
further.
but I actually before we and we can come back to this in another episode. But before we part, if we could just get your screen out from the live, so then you can just try and access that research link that I share with you. So
Mhm.
then maybe we are able to at least showcase kind of like the output for the research portion, given the last 2 minutes that we have.
Mm-hmm.
If you just like stop sharing your screen and then move over to that one to see if it.
Do you see?
So it is still working. As you can
Mm-hmm.
see, it has a 76% work through. So we've actually gotten through pretty far on the research in just this last, 20 minutes that we move on
Mm-hmm.
to the next steps. We don't fully have an output yet, but as you can see, this is great. I mean, we could have gotten the actual output report. Unfortunately, we did not get it for this instance, but we will definitely, I guess, have to come back
Exactly.
and kind of go over this and then just the different areas that we did not to get touch upon today. But with that
Yeah.
being said, thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Tambi. You saved the
Yeah.
day today. You were
This was
able
so
to share
fun.
your screen.
No, this was super fun. Thank you, Zamar, and thank you, folks, for keeping us on our toes, chatting with us throughout the session. We do want to hear more as you go ahead and try this on your end, and hopefully we get another chance to look at QuickSuite and dive into some other scenarios.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining today, and we look forward to connecting with you all next week. We will be checking on that progress of you guys exploring QuickSuite. But until then, I hope you all have a great start of your week, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you.